You are now listening to the Lone Wolf
the Lone Wolf podcast.
Me and my friends have a friend called Michael. Me and my friends have a message for you, Michael. Me and my friends. Well, come on, Michael, push a little harder, try a little more, get your feet on the floor. Come on, Michael, you can make it if you want to. It's just not the same without you.
Alrighty, so let me just start off with this. Stormy Daniels is getting divorced, and the reason being is her husband accuses the porn star of committing adultery. I mean, come on, does that really shock anyone? First of all, and no offense to people who do porn, I know there's a lot of hurt in their history, and there's things that are involved with that. Not always, but most of the time. But what do you expect as a man when you're dating a porn star? That's the work. Their work is to actively have sex with other people for money. It's basically prostitution, but with filming permits and cameras. How could you not know that there might be a possibility that your wife or your girlfriend is going to cheat on you? And why would you want to even get married to a porn star? I mean, I get it. They're attractive, but you're in a polygamous relationship. They're having sex with other people. I don't know. I know most people get defensive over their partners. I don't know how many mental loopholes you'd have to jump through to justify that. But you know what? It is what it is. But, I mean, the guy shouldn't be surprised that would happen. I think he's stupid for marrying Stormy Daniels. But stuff just isn't going for Stormy. She got locked up. Now she's getting divorced. I don't know. Maybe karma's swinging back her way for trying to get our president in trouble from something that may or may not have happened. But I bet her West Hollywood friends aren't very happy since they grant her the freaking key to the city. Are you kidding me? It's just total virtue signaling by the crazy lefties in West Hollywood. They gave her the key to the city for nothing just because they hate Trump. But so let that be a segue to some more disastrous Hollywood news. So actually there's two things to talk about here. And the first one I'll just talk about is James Gunn. You know what? I'm pretty half and half on this one. Yeah, he shouldn't have said those things. They were taboo, kind of creepy, but also they were 10 years ago. And people can change. 10 years is a long time. And think about how many thoughts you have a day and how much you change your mind within a year. Now multiply that times 10. I firmly believe that James Gunn is no longer the person he was back then. I mean, most people aren't. But whoever it was, I imagine it was probably another one of these crazy lefties that just loves feeling victimized or some malevolent person in the Hollywood community probably tried to dig up some dirt on him and found all these tweets that he tweeted from 10 years ago. And Disney buckled under pressure and fired James Gunn from directing Guardians of the Galaxy 3. But on the other hand, he's another stupid, I hate Trump liberal from Hollywood. So part of me is good. I'm glad these people are being exposed for their character flaws and stuff is happening to it. But just another one bites the dust in Hollywood. I mean, these feminazis and these lefties are coming at you. They're eating their own and no one's safe. And James Gunn's just another one who's been bitten by that monster. In other Hollyweird news, this one came from The Hill and came out July 23rd. The group's Creative Future and the Independent Film and Television Alliance, acronym IFTA, sent letters to the House Judiciary Committee and the Senate Energy and Commerce Committee, urging them to bring the internet search giant to Capitol Hill, that being Google, because hundreds of millions of dollars are being lost to piracy because the platforms aren't being held responsible. And here's my opinion on that. So while I don't really care that much about the white-collar problems of the Hollywood elites, I do think that this is an actual legitimate concern for these people. Google is basically its own government, and they have all the resources and power to severely crack down on piracy. Now, if Google does get brought before Congress, I hope that on top of this issue, that Congress pressures answers from the Google reps on why they're still adamant on silencing conservative speech. I doubt they are, honestly. And if you need some refreshment on just how biased they are, here's a snippet from an article that Breitbart did. Quote, TechCrunch blog reported that Google has partnered with ProPublica Coalition and Pitch Interactive to create a data visualization tool that leveraged the Google Cloud Natural Language API analytic algorithm to extract geographic and contextual information to provide journalists with a 50-state, quote, hate news indexed, which we all know by now that the term hate speech has been taken from its original context of meaning speech intended to harm a person verbally and incite violence against them physically based off of prejudice, to now meaning anything that disagrees with leftist ideologies. If you don't believe me, I have a soundbite of a couple of videos from Tucker Carlson here for you. Here's the first one.
They have placed on their restricted list. That means that it can't be viewed in libraries, in schools, or any home that filters out pornography, for example. Cannot be seen in any of those places. Our videos are as innocent as exists on the internet. 4 Pulitzer Prize winners, professors from Stanford, MIT, Harvard, Yale. I mean, it is about as normative and conservative, but we don't only have conservatives. Alan Dershowitz has given a number of videos, and by the way, his video was placed on the restricted list as well. When you understand which ones, for example, I gave a video, and I only give 15% of the 260 or so videos that are there. And they're all 5 minutes long. We have 500 million views this year, so it's rather large. This is a big deal, this suit. And I have a video, for example, on the 10 Commandments. So I have one 5-minute video per commandment. The one that I have on thou shalt not murder, how's that? That has been placed on the restricted list. We have a video, America Must Lead. So do liberals have a video, America Must Lead, but our America Must Lead, and I believe it was given by Brett Stephens, not exactly a flaming conservative. Even that was placed on the restricted list.
And here's one from former Google employee and one of the underground conservatives of Silicon Valley.
How hard is it to think independently, to think for yourself in Silicon Valley? Well, nobody knows the answer to that question better than James Damore. He's the Google employee who was fired because he dared to believe his employer meant it when they said they were committed to diversity, the open exchange of different views. They don't believe in that, and they fired him for it. Now, he is suing the company, Google, for discrimination, but doubtless many others like him remained in hiding in Silicon Valley. James Damore joins us tonight. James, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
So the deep irony is that you think of San Francisco, the Peninsula, the Bay Area, Silicon Valley as open-minded.
Right.
Has it do you think it's become more of a one-party state than it was a couple of years ago?
Yeah, definitely. Silicon Valley started as just sort of libertarian,
yes,
open to many ideas, went to Burning Man all the time. But now it's really, there's a groupthink. And, we see it that many people are now leaving Silicon Valley because of this.
So since you were forced out of Google, not because you didn't perform well in your job, but because you tried to take them seriously when they said they believed in different views, and they don't, have you talked to people who are still there about it?
Yeah, I've talked to a few, and it seems like it's gotten even worse, where they've doubled down on some of this diversity rhetoric, and people are even more afraid now to speak up.
So if you have even a mildly different view, you're crushed.
Right. And so, surveys show that about 80% of conservatives now don't want to talk about anything at work. So
I don't think anyone's ever challenged the fact that you're qualified for the job, highly qualified, you have a Harvard degree. Do you have a job now?
Fortunately, no. I've applied to many places, but I think a lot of the large companies don't want the risk, and then the small companies want to be bought by Google, so they don't want to hire me either. So
Google's so powerful, you think they have a role in your not having a job now, even 6 months later, more than?
Yeah, people are definitely afraid of Google. It's the most powerful company in the world.
Do you think it's a good business model to be associated with an extreme set of political beliefs, Google, and as intolerant as they are? Is that a good way to kind of broaden your market share?
Definitely not. I think that they're really seeing the pushback from conservatives and free thinkers alike.
Yes, the bias has gotten so bad in Silicon Valley that people have to tread oh so carefully or else they'll be exposed and possibly lose their career over their political views, which, if you have any brain at all, sounds exactly like prejudice. In other entertainment news, R. Kelly, the alleged pedophile and pisser owner, has released a 19-minute song. Yes, you heard that right, an almost 20-minute song addressing the rumors called I Admit. And here are some of the featured lyrics in the article from The Wrap. I admit, I fuck with all ladies. That's both older and young ladies. But tell me how they call it pedophile because of that shit. That's crazy. You may have your opinions, entitled to your opinions. But really, am I supposed to go to jail or lose my career because of your opinion? I admit I am not perfect, Kelly says later. I never said I was perfect. Say I'm abusing these women. What the fuck? That's some absurd shit. They brainwashed? Really? Kidnapped? Really? Can't eat? Really? Real talk, that shit sounds silly. And then there's this. What's the definition of a cult? What's the definition of a sex slave? Go to the dictionary, look it up, let me know. I'll be here waiting. Okay, now let me preface this opinion by a statement that Kelly said. And if this is true, this is actually really sad. Kelly says that he was molested by a family member, which I don't have any specific things to point to on this, but I know I've read and listened to and watched videos where they talk about how that's a common theme in sexual abusers and molesters and stuff like that. They usually have a history of that. And it's crazy. You would think you would turn away from that because of the traumatic and hurtful experience. But no, something with the human psyche. I don't know what it is, but we end up being the thing that we experience and hate it. It's crazy. But dude, as far as this, it might have just been better just to carry all this out in legal court and have it happen in a professional way than really going into detail about everything addressed to you or addressed towards you. I only knew about the peeing on thing from a long time ago, and it was parodied by Dave Chappelle in a song called Piss on You, which I might actually put in here, come to think about it.
Yeah. 40 ounces of malt liquor make me want to taste something. Said roll around, sitting on doves. Can't lie, I was high on shrubs. Cooling in my Escalade. Man, I'm paid, I got it made. Take me to your special place. Close your eyes, show me your face. I'm gonna piss on it. Haters wanna hate, lovers wanna love. I don't even want none of the above. I want to piss on you. Yes, I do. I'll piss on you. I'll pee on you. Said your body is a porta potty, and my pee got kicked like a nose karate. I wanna pee on you. Drip, drip, drip. Pee on you. Pour on you. It's on you. It's on you. You never feel quite the same when you get a whiff of my Hershey stains. I wanna poop on you too. I want to pee in your food. Only thing to make my life complete is when I turn your face to a toilet seat. I want to pee on you. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I'll pee on you. I'll piss on you. Haters wanna hate, lovers wanna love. I don't even want none of the above. I want to piss on you. Yes, I do. I'll piss on you. I'll pee on you. Won't you braid my hair? See, won't you braid my hair? Before we start, I'm gonna fall. I'm gonna fall on you.
But dude, this might just be one of the things, like I said, that you keep in the court and you keep it quiet until it fizzles out eventually. Yeah, it sucks. That's a big hit to your career, but I don't think this is going, in my opinion, this isn't going to change people's minds or make a big impact like you think it is. In fact, I think it's actually just adding fuel to the fire. To sum up this point, it really doesn't surprise me. There's so many weirdos and creeps in the entertainment community, and R. Kelly is just another one added to that. All right, so that's the end of episode 23. Once again, like many times before, I want to thank you so much for listening to this podcast. I recorded these past couple ones on a mixing board, so hopefully you hear a difference in the quality. Hopefully it sounds better to you. At least it does to me. But like I've said before, Lone Wolf Productions, it's on Facebook. Give us a like. This podcast is also on Spotify as well as iTunes. Just search in the Lone Wolf Podcast. That's WOOFF. And while you're there, just feel free to give feedback, ratings, hopefully a good rating. Just let me know how I'm doing. Let me know things you might want me to talk about, areas where I could improve, stuff like that. But yeah, that concludes episode 23, and I will see you on episode 24. Thanks.